episode of the Hot Seat Podcast. And in this episode, it's all about Impact Wrestling with Rebellion, which basically just ended not too long ago. So we're going to get right down into it. And where we had some uh, basically matches to get to basically on the countdown, where we had Heath and Rhino taking on Champagne Singh and as well Shira on that one, and as well Singh and as well Shira were able to get their win. We had the Knockouts Tag Team titles on the line. The Coven dealing with the Death Dolls, continuing things, and the Coven actually winning and as well keeping their Knockouts Tag Team titles, which is really cool to see. Then we get into the main card where we had the Ultimate X match. This time it was for the tag team titles between Ace and Bay, basically ABC, dealing with the Motor City Machine Guns, and really cool back and forth stuff between both teams, and to the point where everyone was top and just basically climbing the X and everything high above, basically. And this time I'm looking to see who would be the better team in this one to be tag team champions. And where we had ABC, of course, Ace Austin and Chris Bay actually getting tag team titles, which is awesome to see. So very happy with that. And then we get into the design dealing with the returning Santina Morella to in-ring action, dealing with Joe Hendry and so Dirty Dango. On this one, it's been really cool to have Santino back, basically filling in for Scott D'Amore, being able to help things out and everything, basically backstage, dealing with matches, making matches, that sort of thing. So being able to see him back in the ring has been really cool on this one. And also where we had eventually at one point Sami Callihan leaving the match and taking out Dina on this one, and being able to leave the design and actually go back on his own, which was really awesome to see that, and that helped out Santino Morella and his team to actually get the run. And seeing the Cobra at Impact has been really awesome, so very happy about that. We got into the last rights match, Eddie Edwards and PCO. These two have been going at it for quite some time, and dealing with to see who would basically take each other out and everything, and being able to see who would be basically buried alive, this time dealing with a casket match. Basically, on this one, we saw Alicia get involved a little bit as well, trying to help out Eddie Edwards and everything. These two are going back and forth and being able to have PCO get his revenge, which is awesome to see that, and curious to see what happens next for both of these two. Definitely for sure. Then we got into the triple threat match, basically elimination style for the X Division Championship, where we had Trey Miguel, Mike Bailey, as well as Jonathan Gresham, all in this one. And I couldn't went to really either or, especially with Mike Bailey dealing with Jonathan Gresham as of late. So having Trey Miguel into the mix has been really cool to be able to see that. Surprisingly, Trey Miguel was able to retain the X Division Championship. So that was very interesting. So we'll see who will be actually facing him next. Then we get into Hardcore War. Team Dreamer dealing with Team Bully on this one. It's been very interesting to have this basically seen the weapons used and everything, everyone basically getting their spots. We saw Masha and as well Kelly on this one, Killer Kelly on this one, and Masha Slamovich being able to go head to head as well, and they're able to have their moment. And I would like to see definitely a singles match between those two, but we had Tommy Dreamer and his team able to win, so that was really cool on that. Then we get into the World Championship, which is actually the co-main event, which is really cool there. Then we had Nick Aldis actually coming back, being able to be in commentary, so that leads me to think that he was looking to be eyeing on who will be world champion by the end of the match. And with these two, at one point I thought Kushida was actually going to get the world title win and everything, and it felt like he was more in control at times too as well. But Steve Macklin definitely had his moments and not being able to give up as well, and he actually gets the world title on that. So I'm very sure we'll see Steve Macklin and as well Nick Aldis go at it for sure. Then, of course, as always, looking to see what's happening with Josh Alexander, who's supposed to be facing Steve Macklin. So we'll see what happens if and when they'll get to face each other at some point. And then we get into the main event, the Knockouts main eventing, which is dope and badass to be able to see that. Where we had, of course, the Knockouts title on the line, Deanna Purrazzo and Jordan Grace. These two actually faced each other before during the pandemic and no fans and everything. So being able to run this back and actually have this match happen where it's supposed to be Mickie James and as well Deanna Purrazzo, of course, Mickie James dealing with her own injury. And so not too sure how serious it is, of course. She was able to have her announcement that she was unable to actually be at Rebellion, which definitely does suck on that part. So we were able to see basically put her hat in as well, Knockouts title in the middle of the ring, kind of similar to what Undertaker did before at WrestleMania 33 with his a hat and coat and everything. So we'll see what happens now for Mickie James. So hopefully she will come back and basically dealing with one of the two women, either Deanna Purrazzo or Jordan Grace, and these two are having a really cool spots and back and forth stuff, especially by the rep and everything. That was really cool there to be able to see that, and especially kicking out each other's basically finishers. And as well, Deanna Purrazzo finding a way and as well getting the Knockouts title. So basically, having the power couple with Steve Macklin and as well Deanna Purrazzo, both as world champions, which is really cool to be able to see that. So maybe if Mickie James gets to come back, she can work with Nick Aldis and then they'll get to be world champions together. I would love to see that at some point, depending how things are going for Mickie James and her injury and everything. So that's it when it comes to Rebellion. Those are my thoughts. Honestly, I definitely saw from one of my favorite pay-per-views next to WrestleMania already as of right now. So we'll see what happens next for Impact. It looks like they have a very busy pay-per-view schedule for the rest of the year. So that looks interesting there. So those are my thoughts. What are your own thoughts? Definitely leave the thoughts as well for the comment section down below if you're watching on the YouTube side of things. As always, I love to continue the discussion for sure. So with that being said, as always, leave a like, subscribe, and as well hit the notification bell to stay notified for all of the In the Hot Seat podcast episodes, and it helps out with the algorithm and all that good stuff. So definitely check out the link tree as always for sure if you want to continue things with your support and be able to continue more of the discussion, especially check out my live tweets and everything during the shows during the week and as well leading up to the pay-per-view. So always have fun with that. As always, that about does it for this episode for the In the Hot Seat podcast. A lot more is still looking to come. So until next time, I'll catch everyone next time for In the Hot Seat